Hey everybody, good to see Bill Baum, Ice Fish Ohio. We're just out here at the Fishing Expo, repping for Vexilar Clam, Lakewood products. We've got products from Cage Rail, we've got Vexilar, we've got a handful of units out here, we've got a bunch of accessories, we've got a bunch of Clam Pro tackle, and then back here in the back we've got all of our Lakewood products that we're repping for. Come on down a little further, we've got our hubs, we've got flip shelters, just a little bit of everything. Just the only thing we don't have is the ice. So
where do people get a hold of that to get more information about this stuff?
They can reach out to us on Facebook. We're on Ice Fish Ohio on Facebook. I'm on Facebook as Baum Squad Fishing, so you can reach out directly to me. You can reach out to Nate Goldman, Ryan Kearns. Any one of us are happy to help out, answer questions. But Facebook's a great place to find us. Instagram is also a good place to find us.
You want to explain some of this stuff to the people here?
So these are some of the newest baits out from Clam Outdoors. They're Clam Pro tackle. These are the Tika Minnows, and then these are the Pinhead Pros. This year,
I heard about them.
Yeah, these are fantastic. And what they did was they go on with the theme of lead is dead. Everything's going zinc alloy now. It's got a lot. You can get a lot better detail, and then you don't have the lead in the water, so it's kind of an environmental deal.
Okay.
The really cool thing about these Tika Minnows also is if you know, a lot of the other ones have plastic fins on the back of them that are prone to fall off, and once that fin falls off, they don't swim right anymore. With the Clam Pro tackle, that's all a monolithic core. It's all one piece, so there's nothing that can fall off of it. And the detail and stuff on these is superior to anything else out there.
Okay.
So, and then with the these are a great search bait. I always start with these. If I'm fishing for crappie, and
these are all for ice fishing.
This is all great for ice fishing, but it's also anytime you can fish with a vertical presentation off the boat. These are fantastic. Okay. I always say I'm fishing for crappie. That's a really good size I like to start with, and I like pink for crappie as well. But super search bait, and a lot of times I'll start with these and then I'll switch over to a tungsten. So, and then if that's not working, then I'll try.
You tip with a minnow or anything, or
I tend to not do any live bait unless I absolutely have to.
Really?
Not saying I won't, but I usually do pretty well without. But sometimes the fish are finicky and you got to throw a spike or a waxy, or a minnow head. If you're fishing for perch, it's usually pretty effective. But and then the flutter spoons, these are great. These are an outstanding jigging spoon for walleye. And like I said, it doesn't necessarily have to be ice fishing. Any type you're doing a vertical presentation, these are fantastic. Another thing that's really hot right now is the Clam Silky. And what these are, they're threads with a little ball, and you hook those on your jig, put them right behind the collar, and then you can put a plastic on behind them or live bait, whatever you like to do. But these things actually just look like butterflies in the water. It's pretty amazing. Okay. And what I'll do is I'll take a knife and scrape them on each side and kind of fray them a little more, and they just dance in the water. The more you use them, the better they get. And they're tougher than a $2 steak. You can't hardly get them off the hook, so they're pretty awesome. They got a huge variety of colors. Those were really hot. Last year we hardly get them. So
what's some of this stuff? This is all electronic stuff?
Yeah, these are accessories from Vexilar.
This is the Clam Pro tackle?
Yeah, this is the Clam Pro tackle's banner here.
Okay.
So
they sell all this stuff. You sell all online. You can get it from you online.
Well, all this stuff is usually in store at Lakeside Pro Bass. This is their inventory that we're helping.
Indian Lake,
yeah.
Okay.
And yep. So here's we got digital depth gauges, lights. One of the coolest things, if you don't have lithium-ion batteries, these lithium-ion batteries save so much weight. You're nearly half the weight, twice the runtime, and the battery's longevity is how long it lasts as far as its lifespan is hugely improved.
What do you use the batteries for?
Sorry?
What do you use that battery for?
Oh, this is for your ice flashers or any other ice electronics.
Oh, like this thing here? Oh, wow, okay.
Yeah. But we've got glow cups, different cases.
Wait, what's that?
This is a glow cup. So what this does is any of your baits that are glow, when you plug this in to your charge thing, it has UV light and it charges your baits and makes them really
No
glow in
way.
the water.
Is that right?
Yeah, and then it also works as a rod holder on there. So when you're hole hopping or something like that, you stick your rod in there, walk around, but then you flip it on, charge your UV baits.
How long will they last?
They'll.
Like 20 minutes or so?
The bait itself will stay charged for a fair amount of time, but every time you just come up, you stick it down inside that cup, and it recharges in a few seconds. You go right back down.
No way.
So, yeah, it only takes a second or two to charge. So.
Okay.
And then we've got a bunch of different flashers here. We're out of 8s, which is the entry level, but we've got 18, 20, 28, and then we've got the 30, which is the newest model out. The 30 actually has it's some really cool technology. It's got a broadband transducer, and what that means is we can adjust the cone angle based on the frequency. So if we're wanting to fish shallow water, we can set our power to low, go to 160 megahertz, and that gives us a really wide, like 16-degree cone angle. Say we're fishing lake trout in a really deep lake, and we're fishing up to 200-300 feet. We can go to high power.
200 or 300 feet?
Yeah, lake trout deep. Yeah. So that will, if we turn that megahertz up to 300, that gives us like a 7.5-degree transducer angle. So it's really down. You're not seeing tons of stuff that's way outside your cone angle. You're seeing what's right down below you. So these things are awesome. They're giving you a live, real time. This is in demo mode. What this is representing is your bait coming down. This is the fish. This is the bottom. And in a second, that's going to switch to split screen. And once that happens, here we go. So now what you're looking at is the entire water column on one side, or the bottom 6 feet on one side, and this is the entire water column. So when you're doing this, you got so much target separation because you're only looking at the bottom 6 feet of the water column. You see the bait, the fish just came up to it, he committed, boom. And that's what it looks like when you're actually fishing with these.
That's simple, huh?
Yeah. I mean, they're really easy to use. They seem complicated, but the learning curve is really short.
These are all Lexar products?
Yeah, this is all products from Vexolar Incorporated.
Lakeside bait and Indian Lake.
Sorry.
Can you buy it up at Lakeside?
Lakeside. All this inventory is out of Lakeside. Yeah.
Okay.
So everything that's here they have. And then down here to the K drills, we don't have the 7.5 now, but we've got these are ice augers, and these are ultra lightweight. They cut awesome. This is a 6-inch. This is an 8.5. And let me grab one real fast. So this is the 7.5-inch ice auger. What this thing, it's got some really cool features. So these knives on this, if you look at them, look at the difference here and here. These knives, the way they line up, every time it spins, the knives are never hitting a spot that's already been cut. So it's always getting fresh ice. Each one's always hitting something. And then they've got this built into the casting. There's like a raised area here. So when you're out there cutting on the ice and you're pushing, you can't you can't hog it because it's not going to allow you. It's only going to let it go down as far as it's already cut. So, and these things are super light for hole hopping and going out fishing all day long. I'm using a DeWalt drill on mine, and this thing will drill 75 holes a day, with a 6-amp-hour battery.
Okay.
And they just work fantastic.
Okay.
They're so light that this little foam collar here is enough to, if it comes off your drill and falls in the hole, this little foam collar is enough to keep it buoyant.
What kind of drill can you use on that?
Any of the higher end Milwaukees and DeWalt's, the 20-volt batteries, but the higher level ones, I can't remember offhand what the minimum torque rating is, but any of the 900 series DeWalt's work great for them.
Is there a special adapter you got to get, or is that just?
No, I just put my drill directly on.
Put your chuck on there and tighten it down and go.
Yeah.
Really?
Now they do have a clam plate that's an option that you can use as well, and this your drill actually hooks to this plate, and then you use it, like a traditional. It just depends on what you like.
Wow.
these work fantastic also.
Wow, look at that thing.
Yeah.
Yay.
So these work great. I personally just chuck directly to it, but it just depends on what you like. Most guys actually like this really well.
The same kind of drill fits on both of them?
Yeah, absolutely. And then what it takes is you've got your drill goes right here and a C-clamp goes around it. This goes into the trigger, and then you just sit there and use it. So they work pretty awesome. What cool feature about this is when you lay it down on the ice, it keeps your drill up out of the ice and snow. So that is one advantage that I really like about that.
What kind of money are we talking about? Just ballpark.
You know, you're looking, depending on the size you get, you're looking at anywhere from $165 to $250 on your auger. Whether you go with the 6-inch all the way up to the 8.5.
Okay.
The clam plates, I believe, are around $75.
Okay.
And then whatever you spend on your drill.
Okay. What else you got? And you want to talk about your shanties over there?
Yeah, we could do that.
Yeah, let's do that. You want to start here? Keep moving over there?
Do that. Let me,
Wherever you want to do, buddy. I'm here for you.
we'll start right here.
Okay.
So this is our products that from Lakewood. Lakewood products. We're repping for those. Here's some really cool stuff. This is what they call the lure vaults.
Wow.
They keep all your baits in a hanging position and keep them all neat and organized. So
That's impressive, man.
yeah. So you know, a lot of times these baits, when you've got them in things in regular like Plano boxes, they sit there and beat back and forth. They get all tangled up.
Yeah.
This actually keeps them really well organized. The bottom of these is mesh. So, you know, you're out fishing, your baits are wet, you put them in there, you don't have to worry about your hooks rusting and stuff like that. Everything dries out real nice, and it just keeps them in a good hanging position.
You guys can walk around. I'll catch up with you. You want to stand here? I'll be a few more minutes though.
This box here actually got dropped twice yesterday, and yeah, the baits, you know, they all just stayed right there where they were supposed to be. So everything. You know,
Really?
Yeah.
Didn't mess the thing up.
Yeah,
Huh?
I mean, they were just slightly tangled. A couple of these jigging wraps and stuff got a little bit tangled, but all in all, for being dropped twice, they were in really great shape. And these come in 3 different sizes. You've got the small, medium, and then you've got the large for some of the larger walleye baits. This is what they call the greenback.
Yeah, this is all professional stuff. Jesus Christ, look at that.
So this rod case is a greenback, and the cool thing about that is the small and the medium fit right inside it. So you can throw your stuff in there. These are fantastic if you're out on ice where you're using a quad or something. I strap this down on the rack of the quad, and all my rods, tackle, and everything's pretty much, you know, kept really nice and secure. And then it's got these extra pockets. You know, I'll put some plastics in one. I'll throw extra gloves and an extra hat on the other side. And it's just an awesome, really awesome case. Probably one of the best cases. Not probably, it's the best case.
I got a 5-gallon bucket.
It works. It works. So then these are the wallets. These are what they call the wallets, and I use these for my tungstens. So I just throw all my tungstens in these things, and holds them real nice. You know, and that's something you can just kind of toss in your pocket or toss in there.
How many jigs you need? Jeez,
I haven't figured that number out yet.
You showed me 300 so far. You probably use a couple of them.
Now this is a little bigger one. What I use it for is like my spring crappie hair jigs. So you know, I threw these in here just for demo, but
of course.
But, you know, so that's what I like about that. I grab that, I take that with me, and it's got all my hair jigs and stuff. So
Fish Ohio, guys, on Facebook.
So now we get into these. These are what they call money bags, and they're a mesh bag.
This is for ice fishing?
Well, no, this is getting more open water.
Oh, okay. This is like, okay.
But you know, when I'm up on Lake Erie, organization's everything. Whether you're ice fishing or out on boat trolling for walleye, for me, organization's everything. And if I get unorganized, I tend to, you know, I get anxiety. I can't handle it, right? And then when I get that, I'm not friendly. So, you know, so this really helps me a lot, keep my organization. But, you know, when we're up there, if I'm going out on somebody else's boat and I'm bringing my own tackle, I can grab one of these, and you know, I've got all my crankbaits for trolling. You know, I've got this full of bandits.
Is that your personal stuff?
This is all personal gear. So I've got these things. I mean, they're full of reef runners. I've just got tons of them. But so these just make it nice and handy for you know, keeping the boat organized, keeping your tackle organized. This one here is really cool. I've got this one. This is what I keep all my spoons in. So I got spoons on the sides. I've got my crawler harnesses. So if we're going out trolling, stuff like that, I grab this box, I grab 2 of these, and I got all the tackle I need for a day of fishing on Lake Erie. And it's all organized and easily accessible. So now back to a little bit of ice. This is the straight drop from Clam. This is a really awesome little panfish rod. Noodle. It's really super awesome for jigging those 16th ounce pinheads we had looking at earlier. But this is a small rod case from Liquid Products for if I'm hand pulling and I'm putting this fits in my sled nice and easy. You know, that case is a little big for going out and hand pulling. So I put my rods in this case here and it works out perfect for me. I love it.
Okay.
Yeah, so then another one of the money bags for, you know, reef runners, full of reef runners and such. So
that's the size drill you got to use?
Yeah, this is a DeWalt 999
okay.
with 6 amp hour.
That's all they need, huh?
Yeah, I mean, this is you know, you don't have to go with this one. I mean, they've got a 996 that works great, 998. This is the 999, which takes the flexible batteries,
okay.
which
okay.
Yeah, it's made a pretty big difference. I like it.
Okay.
Now, if you guys want to look at these shanties here, we'll take a look at them. This one here, we just basically use it for storing stuff, so it's kind of a mess inside. But this is a refuge, just a little bit older model. But you know, they're 90 grams per square foot of insulation, so they're really, really well insulated. This one here, you can actually put a floor kit inside of it. And when I was in Colorado this year elk hunting, this was actually my tent. I stayed in this for 10 days in Colorado. So it was pretty awesome because we got pretty cold at night.
You put about half a dozen guys in there, can't you?
If they're friendly. but yeah, so these are pretty awesome. These are really economical too. You can get into them. They pop up in about 30 seconds. And you know, if you throw a buddy heater in this thing, you're probably within you know, 10 or 15 minutes you'll be sitting in t-shirts. So they really do a great job.
Okay.
Another great thing about insulated over non-insulated is when you're running a heater, propane puts off a lot of condensation. So in a non-insulated shelter, you start getting drips. The insulated shelters, you don't get that.
Okay.
So that's one thing, big selling feature of an insulated shelter.
Okay. These are all available online, or where do you get them at?
Yeah, you can order these directly from Clam. Most any retailer have them. Cabela's carries them. Yeah, they're everywhere. Lakeside Pro Bass and Lakeview have them.
Okay.
So, and this is a refuge model. I don't know that they make this one anymore, but it's similar to
they got,
like the 560.
They got hundreds of designs, probably.
Yeah, they got a lot of them.
Yeah.
We got the Voyager 2-man flip. This is a fantastic shelter. It's got really nice padded seats in there. It's got console. Folds up, super compact, and drags easy.
Okay.
It's got the great tub, so if you
it's insulated too, right?
Yeah, this is all insulated again. 90.
Does it all fit in that little sled there? Everything folds in that sled?
Everything folds down inside this tub. So then it's got a tow rope on the end of it. Folds down, throw a cover on it. You just drag it on down the road.
Okay.
They make a whole lot of different sizes of these. You got 1-man flips, 2-man. They even make a 3-man. So they got a lot of different sizes.
Okay.
If you're wanting to go really lightweight for hand pulling, this is a non-insulated, and these are really great for guys that want to go out and just hand drag.
Right.
And then stepping up here, this is basically the same material as that first one we looked at, 90 grain.
That just folds out this way too.
Yeah. So what will happen is that'll fold right down.
Okay.
Yep, fold right down and sit in there, throw a little heater in there. Super comfortable. Keeps you nice and comfortable.
Okay.
But if you just want to get in, have some place to sit, without wind, you can do that, put the back to the wind and just sit there like that.
Okay.
Nice little model. Comes with a light built in, so there's a light bar above. in a battery tray, so you can just sit there and you got a little LED light to throw on.
Well, you can't get much nicer, can you?
They're very, very comfortable.
No TV.
We could probably rig something up, but Clam thought everything out with these. They did a great job designing them and everything. They're a fantastic shelter for sure.
Okay.
Very well made, and customer service is top notch.
Okay. Once again, this is Bill Baum, Ice Fish Ohio guy. Look him up on Facebook. Contact him through, Facebook, I guess.
Yeah, well, Facebook. I'm Baum Squad Fishing on Facebook, so you can reach out. Doesn't look like we're going to get too many more, so we'll go ahead and get this started. Welcome to the 2023 National Fishing Expos. My name is Baum. I'm with Ice Fish Ohio, and I'll be giving you an ice safety seminar today, talking about ice safety. Anybody has any questions at any point in time, just stop me, raise your hand, throw something at me, and I'll answer questions while it's still fresh. So first what I'll do, I'll tell you about myself. I've been ice fishing for about 25 years. Got really serious into it in about the last 15 years. And
Don't specialize, I'm hard of hearing.
Okay. So got really serious into it in about the last 15 years. In the last 5 years or so, I've gotten really active in teaching ice safety because, especially here in Ohio, our ice tends to be a little bit sketchy because we don't get the same winters that they do up north. So being able to do it safely, it's kind of turned into my passion to make sure guys are going out and getting back home to their families. At the end of the day, it's just fishing, so it's not worth dying over. But what I'll start out with is we'll start with some of the basic safety gear. Probably the most important thing you can do is get a spud bar and learn how to use it. They're all different, and how they react to the ice is all different, so you kind of want to, once you pick one you like, learn to use it and just stay with it. This is just one from Cabela's, and when I bought this one, I liked it, so now I've got like 5 of them. When I take people out with me, they all get to use them. So, and you hear them called spud bars, ice chisels, but it's just kind of got a chisel end on it. And what I'm doing when I'm out there, especially on ice I've never been on before, I'll take a couple steps, out, and I'm just taking, and to keep from getting fatigued, I hold it like that. And when I walk out, I give a couple strikes. I can tell by the way that ice feels if it's decent ice, and that just comes from experience. You just have to experiment. But good solid ice, you'll get a rebound. It almost wants to bounce back, and the flakes that come out, you can tell if it's good solid ice. If I get out there and I take a hit, and it kind of has a thud to it, kind of wants to stick in the ice, that's generally a softer ice, and it's not the greatest. The other thing, clear ice, you always hear people say, 4 inches of ice is what you want. And that's true if it's good quality ice. You can have 8 inches of frozen slush, which is the milky kind of, where the slush refreezes from snow and the wind puts a lot of air in it. That's got about half the strength at best of good clear ice. So, just because it's 4 inches ice doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be good ice. It's the ice quality makes the difference. And then you'll notice that as well, when you hit good clear ice with your spud bar, that's when you get that good rebound. And, it feels nice and hard. That frozen slush is where it'll almost get sticky. And lakes vary. There's a lot of things and variables in lakes as far as how the ice forms and underwater springs, methane releases. There's a lot of things that cause water not to freeze evenly. Waterfowl is one of the big ones. A lot of lakes will have huge areas that waterfowl keep them open because they'll sit there and swim around. We actually watched geese one year. They kept breaking it intentionally. They were just going around the edges, this big group of them, they just kept breaking the ice. So what happens is it gets cold, you're out there, you're on 5 or 6 inches of ice. If you don't know that was open long after the lake first started to freeze, you could be out on 6 inches of ice thinking it's great. You walk into an area that may only have 1 or 2 inches because it was held open, by those geese, or a current, underwater spring where rivers, creek channels come into lakes. Those areas will have current and cause that ice to not freeze at a consistent rate like it has on the other lakes. 3 weeks ago, a group of us were up on Marguerite, which is in the Grayling, Michigan area. And right out behind the house that we had rented, we had 7-8 inches of ice. We were out over 20 inches or 20 feet of water. We had located some areas we wanted to fish based on points and breaks and different stuff that was over, just east of us. And the next morning we were heading out there, and there were 7 of us total. I was in the front spudding, and we're just going along. It was still dark. I had my headlamp on, and I just started to not like the feel of the ice. I wasn't getting that good rebound from the spud bar. So I had the group stop. We had 5 kids and 3 adults, and I went ahead and I got about 15, 20 feet farther, and on one hit, I was starting to get a little bit of water seeping up into, the pocket that my spud bar just made. And again, the ice wasn't getting a good rebound. It was kind of soft. So, we ended up having to turn around and go back and fish the area that we'd been on the day before that had 7 or 8 inches of ice. Later that day, we were talking to the guy that had the house next to the one we rented, and that area had been open, and this area was the size of this building. It had been open 3 days before. So if we had just, gone off what we were, yesterday we were on 7, 8 inches of ice, the whole lake's probably going to be like that. We would have probably all went swimming that morning, but, luckily we were using safety and we were spudding our way out. So, yes, sir.
Now, when you went over to the area that you fished the day before that you knew had 8 inches,
yeah,
did you bother taking that?
We still do, just not being familiar with the lake, but when we were in the, right there fishing the exact area that we were on, no, we weren't spudding. Because we knew we had holes drilled, from the day before. So now when we were confined to that area, but like with all the kids, they want to go out and, kind of monkey around. So we held them into the area that we knew. We didn't let them venture outside of that too much, just not knowing. Yeah, sure. Good question. So, so that's the spud bar. If you guys have any more questions with that, feel free to ask, or you can catch me afterwards and we hang on to it and get a feel for it. So the next most important thing, in my opinion, is these next bites. So what you have here, if in the event of a fall through, when you first fall through, you're going to suffer from what they call cold shock response. So if anybody's ever, in the summertime, you're at the pool and one of your buddies throws some cold water on you, you get that gasp. That's cold shock response, and that's exactly what you encounter when you fall through ice, except for it doesn't go away very fast. So in the event of a fall through, the first thing you want to do is calm yourself, because your respiration is going to increase, your blood pressure increases, and older guys like myself, most of your deaths related to falling through the ice are cardiac deaths, just because of that. So the sooner you calm yourself down, don't panic. You can mitigate that in about 30 seconds, but it'll naturally go away in about 2 to 3 minutes. But the sooner you mitigate it, the sooner you can start to get yourself out, the better off you're going to be, because at some point in time, what happens is your body starts to stop sending blood to your extremities. Okay, so it's trying to protect its core temperature. So once you lose the use of your limbs, you have no ability to, which is called cold incapacitation. Once you get into a state of cold incapacitation, you don't have the ability to self-rescue, so now you're relying on somebody else, which isn't ideal. So then you end up, a lot of times, with multiple people in the same pond. So that's where these neck spikes come really handy. When you're in the water, you pull these apart, and what you've got is just 2 spikes. And then facing the direction you were coming, you want to go right back the direction you were coming from, because you know that ice got you there. Face back that way, kick your feet, get yourself up, get your elbows up on the ice, kick your feet until you get your body vertical, and then you can start clawing your way out using these spikes. And then once you're up out, stay low, crawl as far as you feel safe doing it before you get up and try to walk.
Now, how long until you go into shock, though, until where you can't use those?
I'm sorry?
How long until you go into shock to where you can't use those?
It varies with people depending on their health. A younger person, may go for a while. I've heard of incapacitation coming, within 10 or 15 minutes. Some people, a half hour. So it's not, you've got a little bit of time to work with, but you definitely have to be mindful that it's a real possibility and you want to get yourself out of that situation. So, because then, after that you start setting into hypothermia as well. So the next spikes, the spud, the next thing, anytime you're on ice where there's no snow, snow gives you grip. You can walk on snow-covered ice pretty well. But if you're on, ice with no snow, which, we tend to experience a lot around here, these on your boots, they just call them safety cleats, but these are just basically like springs. These go on your boots. The number one leading cause of injury related to ice fishing is slips and falls. So a lot of concussions, broken shoulders, broken elbows, people falling, hitting their head. That's your number one injury, actually, believe it or not. So these things are super, super important when you're fishing on ice that doesn't have any snow traction. So, like I said, that's number one injury is falls. Everybody thinks falling through the ice is what you got to worry about, but cracking your noodles is probably number one. So, now, I always carry a throwback, okay, because you've fallen through, and I don't want to try to get up too close to you, and if you're having troubles getting out, what I can do is I can take this, pull the tag out, throw the bag to you while I hold on to the tag end, okay? You can tie that around yourself or hold on to it, and then we can get guys to help pull you out. I also set up, a lot of times, I've got what they call a Z-drag, which is a system of pulleys. If I'm out with people guiding them or something, then I got a guy your size, you're a bigger guy. I'm not going to physically pull you out by myself, but I can drill a hole in my auger, put an anchor in, set up a Z-drag, and it quadruples my pulling power, and I can actually pull you out with that setup with this rope. So, but this is something else I carry in this dry bag. This serves a couple purposes. This is a dry bag. It's got airlock in it. So I can also throw this to somebody after flotation. Say you're struggling to stay on the surface, I can throw that to you. And this is one going to keep the contents inside dry, but it's also going to float and actually act as a flotation device. What I keep inside here is I keep a wool blanket. A lot of guys like to carry a spare set of clothes. I just carry wool socks. I've got wool mittens in here. Wool mittens, wool socks. And I carry a wool blanket. So this is just 100% merino wool blanket. That will insulate you when it's wet. When you're in the water, your clothes are helping you. Okay, so when you're in the water, you want to keep your clothes on. They're actually helping you. Once you're out of the water, they're hurting you. So the first thing you want to do is get those clothes stripped off and get the person wrapped up in a blanket, get some mitts on them, and that way we're trying to fight that hypothermia, and then we get them out of there. So, and the reason I do a blanket, a lot of guys carry extra sweatshirts and stuff like that. Well, most of that stuff's cotton that doesn't insulate when it's wet. You're not going to fit in my sweatshirt, but you'll fit in that blanket. So that's why I carry something that's a one-size-fits-all type of deal. So anybody got any questions or anything? I know there's a whole lot to ice safety that I probably haven't covered, but so this is a good time for questions if you guys have any that you're wondering. So.
Where's the perch at? Where's the perch at?
Where's the perch at? That's $1 million question. That's $1 million question. They're all over the place.
Where's the ice at?
That's another question.
Northern Michigan.
Northern Michigan, yeah. Even the lower peninsula of Michigan right now doesn't have the greatest ice, so it's been a rough season for everybody. So even the UP, I think I was looking at winds weather because we go up and fish in the wind area, and I think next week they got a day that say it's like 51 or something.
I just talked to my friends up in Alpena and Long Lake, and Long Lake has 8 inches right now, which isn't very much.
Should be 24. Yeah, should be a lot more than that right there. So, yeah, anybody got any other questions?
You covered it, man. That's it.
All right.
I'm glad I was sitting here.
Yeah.